Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien on the morning of Wednesday, August 30th, 2023, sitting in for Paul Harvey this morning. Stand by for the rest of the story. Well, today it's about a special hotel in Washington, D.C. The Willard Hotel, Intercontinental Hotel, I think it's now, 1401 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. It's long been known as a very high-priced and distinguished hotel, and its dining room has been, known to have very expensive menu on it. And serves a lot of politicians, congressmen, and senators. Well, the hotel was bought by Henry Willard in 1850 and thus became the Willard Hotel. But it had a notoriety. It was the best place to go in Washington at the time in the 1850s. But it also had a dubious reputation. And the reputation was snooty waiters. I don't know, I haven't been to that hotel. I've seen it when I've been in Washington, but it was too expensive for my taste to go have lunch or dinner at their dining room. I've been in their dining room. It's a nice place, but whoopee, you should see their menu. Yeah, only congressmen and senators with their PACs can afford to dine there. Yeah. But anyway, on to the story. Mr. Willard bought the hotel in 1850. In 1856, on May 8th, California fell. Went in there to have breakfast, I believe it was. Anyway, California fell. Well, and you say that you can't get away with anything? That Trump cannot get away with what he did? Here, Americans, is a guy that did. And that's the rest of the story. California Phil was a very impatient guy. Being from California, in the 1850s, California wasn't considered the upstart Californians that you have today, as in Ronald Reagan and Governor Brown, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Those guys are Californian, right? Well, you can imagine the Californians of today. Pelosi, Feinstein, they probably dined over there at the Willard Hotel. But California fell. He was considered a nobody back in the 1850s. And by Washington socialites. And the waiters who knew who the Washington socialites were and who were nobodies. The Willard Hotel had another reputation besides being the best as far as meals go and the best place to have a meal and stay. It was also the best place to have snooty waiters. And they were snooty too. Oh, Mr. Harvey, I loved the story when you did it back in the 70s. Oh, yeah. Well, you see, California Phil, he well, ordered his breakfast and didn't get served. I mean, they pretty much ignored him. And he sat there for, according to the accounts, an hour and a half or so. And he finally got to the attention of a waiter. And the waiter came by. And who are you, sir? Oh, I'm Phil from California. Oh. Well, I'll get you when I get you, sir. You know, Snooty. And he started to walk away from Phil. And according to the records, Phil said, sir, turn around and wait a second. So the guy was getting ready to give him heave-ho, as the waiters would do back then. Snooty, you know how they were. Washington waiters. Hey, Snooty. Yeah. And the Willard Hotel was noted for it. It had a notoriety for it. Well, the guy was getting ready to give it to Phil. He turned around and boy, there was a gun pointing at him and ping! Down went the waiter for the count. He is croaked and dead. Yes. Oh, Mr. Harvey, I love your stories. So yeah, you know, Phil, as it turned out, was Congressman Philemon Herbert from California. And did he get censored in the House? No. Did he get expelled from the House? No. Did he get arrested for murdering a snooty waiter in Washington, D.C.? No. Therefore, see, there's precedents for President Trump to not do anything and get away with it, because if you can murder a guy in a prestigious hotel, which by the way is still there today, and you go have breakfast, lunch, and dinner there, forgetting that a congressman murdered a snooty waiter back in 1856, yeah. Will you still go to the Willard Hotel and say, can I have a snooty waiter, please? And I bring my gun and go, doing, down he goes for the count. Yeah. Well, Americans, and now you know the rest of the story. He got away with everything. Congressman Philemon Herbert from California went on to have a distinguished career. And the waiter, of course, he went to snooty heaven. Sitting in for Paul Harvey, this is your favorite alien. Good day.